Trojan Vision's The Semester in Review. I'm TV production coordinator Paige Ray. Thank you so much for tuning in today. This semester, Troy University welcomed new students during Odyssey. It was a chance for students and their parents to meet school leadership and get a performance from the Sound of the South for the very first time. Jameson Fowler has that story.
With the fall semester now in full swing, Troy University's Odyssey event welcomed new freshmen, first-time transfer students, and international students. Not only did the new students get a show courtesy of the Sound of the South, but also received a pep talk from Troy University Senior Vice Chancellor Dr. Jack Hawkins Jr. to former Troy alumnus Wesley Swansea.
We educate the mind to think, the heart to feel, and the body to act.
All the best of luck in the years ahead, and I look forward to witnessing the amazing successes you will achieve as Troy Trojans. Remember, once a Trojan, always a Trojan.
As the transition to school may be intimidating for some, Odyssey makes sure to address all concerns that those proud parents may have, as one parent shares her experience with Troy and how Odyssey handled them.
I was really happy with it. It was exciting. I got to watch my daughter do the dance line. She's been at band camp all week learning all of their routines. And I really thought the speakers were really good and motivational. I think it gave us a better feel for what to expect and like what she's going to be going through. She's already gotten involved in sorority and the dance line, so she's already on the right track, and I think it gave her a better idea of what all she can do here.
Students now moving forward from Odyssey not only got words of encouragement from the Troy administration, but also had a ton of fun in taking part in the pep rally.
It made me happy to be here. Like, it was very informative and made me feel a lot more comfortable. Troy's a lot similar to my hometown. Environment, I guess, is the same. It's definitely easy because it feels so at home.
Jameson Fowler, Troy, TrojanVision News.
The transition from high school to college can be hard for some incoming students, though. That's when Troy University's Welcome Week Committee steps in. Camille Coney explains.
After a fun and hot summer, the beginning of a new school year starts to roll around. To ease students back into their college routine, the Student Government Association has created an event called Welcome Week.
Welcome Week is the first 2 weeks of school. It's a chance for us to welcome our students back, to host different type of events, to show students what we have here to offer here at Troy. It also helps the new students and old students, get back acquainted to the university.
A variety of events will be taking place around campus during Welcome Week to give students a chance to see what Troy University is all about.
We'll have a silent disco, a skate night, a late night glow-in-the-dark yoga. Also, our religious organizations also host a number of different events too during Welcome Week.
This year's theme is Troy 101, which is a spinoff of the Nickelodeon sitcom Zoe 101.
They wanted people to come back and learn about the fundamentals of Troy and just be ready for their new reality of being here at Troy University.
Vice President of Campus Affairs, Betsy Bennett, wants students who attend Welcome Week events to gain a sense of having a home away from home.
Going to these events definitely can get you more comfortable to the campus, and getting to meet new students that are in the same position as you really kind of helps make the Troy campus feel a lot more like a family environment.
If you would like to share any ideas or suggestions for next year's Welcome Week, email the Student Government Association at sga@troy.edu. Camille Coney, Troy, TrojanVision News.
As students settled once again into college life, some used that first weekend to burn off steam at Butter and Egg Adventures. Sienna Arnold takes us there.
Troy University zips into the semester by hosting an event for students at Camp Butter and Egg. Butter and Egg's course manager says they are excited to help welcome Troy students back to campus.
We're helping kick off the semester at Troy University. We're doing a Welcome Week event where we're opening a bunch of our venues. We are free for Troy University students, and so this is just a way to make sure they come out and see us in the future, not just tonight.
One student says she spent her time exploring Butter and Egg's obstacle courses.
Axe throwing, zip lining, canoeing, laser tagging, pretty much almost everything.
Carnley says Troy students can benefit from Butter and Egg, not only through its fun activities, but also through the health benefits.
Our goal is just to make sure students are getting outside, getting maybe out of their comfort zone a little bit and doing something they normally wouldn't do.
West tells TrojanVision that she hopes Troy University hosts more events such as this one.
Yeah, I think they should, because, Troy is small. There's really nothing to do. So when you're bored, it's a place you can come to.
Sienna Arnold, Troy, TrojanVision News.
They didn't stop at Butter and Egg. Students also rolled down to the campus rec center to skate into the new semester. Danielle Wormsby was there and has the action.
Students rolled down to the campus rec center as we skate into the new school year. Troy University Welcome Week is doing their part to welcome students back to campus.
So tonight is neon roller skating, and we brought in a skating rink floor and a DJ, and we got students to come out. They're decked out in all of their neon attire, and it's just a really fun event for students to kind of do something they don't get to do every day.
Those new to Troy University may benefit the most from Welcome Week events.
It really helps you adapt to college more when you have a campus that's really welcoming and trying to work with you. Everyone else is just so nice here, and it really helps trying to acclimate to living on your own.
Something I'm really excited for is Welcome Week and getting to meet all the new freshmen and just, be a mentor to them and help them, decide what they want to do while they're here, because, there's so many options at Troy.
Students involved in activities are more likely to make friends and create important connections.
On Troy's campus, there are actually over 200 student-led organizations, so there's really something there for everyone. Troy University hosts Welcome Week for students to meet people, see some familiar faces, and just enjoy the university as a whole.
Danielle Wormsby, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Once students got comfortable with the university, it was time to explore the city they now call home. The Troy Idea Bank hosted Taste of Troy as a way to do that. That event was a way for new students to learn about the businesses around downtown Troy. Belle Johnson takes us there.
As the new school year welcomes students back to campus, the city of Troy provided a way for new students to start to feel at home. The Troy Idea Bank, along with the Troy SGA, held Taste of Troy last Friday as a way for students to get to know local business owners.
Local businesses are a really important part of our community, as are the Troy University students. So we think that this introduction through Taste of Troy is a really important part to getting students introduced to the community and, inspiring them to shop local and support these local businesses.
Businesses provided giveaways, prizes, and of course, free food samples. Those who attended also could participate in raffle prizes and listen to live music on the square.
I heard that there was going to be a lot of free stuff, and of course I'm going to want to take part in that. But I also just wanted to get more of a feel of the kinds of opportunities that I have as a Troy student, because I'm not from the area, and I definitely just want to get used to feeling like I live here.
Taste of Troy even allowed one Troy student to represent his own family's business.
I'm a freshman in Troy. I started. I'm majoring in global business, and I hope with that to gain better knowledge and hopefully expand our restaurants.
Overall, Taste of Troy gave new and old students alike a chance to get to know the Troy community and start to feel more at home.
Put yourself out there, explore all the different businesses and things that you can do in Troy, and don't stay cooped up in your dorm building.
Belle Johnson, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Back on campus, Troy's campus strives to be a melting pot for people and cultures from around the world. That goal was achieved during Troy's Welcome to America event. Laura Stokely reports.
Friday night, Chi Alpha hosted its Welcome to America event for Troy University's international students.
As a campus ministry, we do want students to learn about Jesus and grow in their relationship. We want to provide a place where even international students coming from all over the world can experience real Christian community and learn more about Jesus and be connected with other Christians.
The event aimed to connect students studying abroad from other countries to American culture. International students are already seeing differences between their cultures and American culture.
People here are so much friendly, American, and there is lots of students, international students. So I feel like home, new home here.
Chi Alpha came up with a delicious way to introduce the new students to American cuisine by serving classic American foods like fried chicken. While everyone feasted, students were able to play improv games, win prizes, and were even introduced to common religious practices.
It's truly like beautiful to see, and it's one of those things that when I think about it, I think this is where God's kingdom looks like, just all the races and all the genders and just everybody together, loving one another, and just actually wanting to be together.
Overall, the night was one way Troy students from near and far are learning to find common ground.
Wish you very best of luck to your journey and also the Troy. and wish me please also best of luck to my rest of 2 years.
Laura Stokely, Troy TrojanVision News.
As Welcome Week continued, students got to showcase their hidden talents during Apollo Night. Neil Cole was there.
Students showcased their talent of singing, rapping, and dancing on the big stage at Apollo Night in the Trojan Center Ballroom. Apollo Night is an annual event that takes place during Troy University's Welcome Week, hosted by the National Association of Black Journalists.
It was just really fun. I had a really good time. It was nice being back on campus, being a part of Welcome Week, so I enjoyed it.
Not only was this variety show a chance for individuals to express their skills, there was a live audience interaction. Students were able to vote for the winner of the talent show while also given the chance to win door prizes.
It's basically to show off other people's talents. So, if someone can sing, if someone can dance, if someone has comedy, we want to basically put the spotlight on them. That way they can show off their talents and basically show off their own brand.
During the event, a fundraiser was held for the Boys and Girls Club. As guests arrived, they were given the opportunity to make a $5 donation.
We're known for many things. We want to give back to the community. We want to host workshops for our students, and we basically want to have a presence for Black journalists on campus.
Neela Cole, Troy TrojanVision News.
Unfortunately, this semester wasn't without some sad news. Former Trojan football player Wyndham Rotunda died back in August. Rotunda was better known to the world as WWE wrestling champion Bray Wyatt. His death was reported by the WWE. Before joining the family business of professional wrestling, Rotunda was an offensive lineman and a broadcast journalism major at Troy. He rose to fame in the wrestling industry as the character Bray Wyatt, also known as The Fiend. Rotunda even recorded a voiceover as his famous character for a football uniform reveal video in 2020. According to reporter Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful.com, Rotunda suffered a heart attack caused from heart issues that were related to COVID. He was 36 years old. The end of August also brought the time of year where Troy's Chi Omega sorority works to help children who need it the most. We learned more in this report.
If you've been around campus this week, you may have noticed that Chi Omega is hard at work raising money for their philanthropy, Make-A-Wish.
Make-A-Wish is an organization that grants wishes to kids 2 to 18 that have critical illnesses and gives them a wide variety of things that they can choose, to pick for their wish.
Last spring, Chi Omega was able to raise nearly $19,000 for Make-A-Wish, and this semester, their goal is to raise $20,000.
The money that we raise, we give it to Make-A-Wish Alabama, and then they find us a kid around the Troy area, Montgomery area, to allow them to come to our house for us to throw them a wish party.
The wish parties act as a send-off for a child who has had their wish granted.
At our last wish party, it was so funny. We had toys and stuff for the little kid to play with, but he played with colorful cups the whole entire time that we had. And so it was just so funny because we all joined in and we were playing with him, and he just was using all the small things to enjoy it.
One Chi Omega member even got to witness a little boy's dreams come true in her hometown.
The little boy that I know, he is 6 years old now, but he was born about 2 months early premature. And I hate to say it this way, but they really didn't know how long he was going to live. And I believe he's had 24 surgeries, open heart surgeries, and he's doing so good now. He got to go kick off an Alabama game, and I think he went to Disney also, but I think it's just really cool that they're able to do that and go spend family time together.
And that was Emily Clegg reporting. Troy University's Arboretum saw a few updates thanks to a $25,000 grant it received from the Hyundai Motor Manufacturing Alabama company. Camille Coney gives us a look into what changes have been made and what they mean for Troy students.
The Arboretum is Troy University's nature preserve, where students can learn about and explore the outdoors.
We have 75 acres here adjacent to campus. We have over 12 miles of hiking trails out here. There's a pond, there's stream, and there's over 500 plants.
A new floating pier and dock can help students easily collect data and samples.
They're going to be mostly used with our classes. Students will be able to go out on these docks and piers, They don't have to wade out into the pond and get mud and all of that stuff on them.
Diamond was first hired as the director of the Arboretum in the 1980s. Years later, the Arboretum was turned over to the physical plant, and Diamond became a full-time biology professor. Over the years, the Arboretum turned into a despair. With Diamond now director of the Arboretum again, he says he's excited to help restore the Arboretum to its former glory.
Being put back out here has given us the opportunity to start doing a lot of different things. We've opened up the trails, we've applied for a lot of grants.
Diamond says he spends all of his free time at the Arboretum and works to make it a better place for Troy University and the community.
This is a resource for the university and the community. So if you're a biology major, you'll be having classes out here. We have art students that come out here and do painting, photography, and things.
The Arboretum is open 7 days a week from sunrise to sunset. Admission is free. Camille Coney, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Just across the hall from our studio, Troy Public Radio hosts its programs. Back in early September, the department held its fall fund drive. Emily Clegg has the details.
You're listening to 89.9 WTSU Montgomery, Troy.
For some, that might be a familiar sound. For others, this might be the first time they're hearing of Troy Public Radio.
Just behind these doors, students and faculty are hard at work making radio magic, which can be heard across the state in parts of Florida and Georgia.
Every semester, Troy Public Radio asks its listeners to support them by having a fund drive.
This is one of the 3 times during the year that we go on air and remind people that when we say Troy Public Radio, the public in public radio are crucial and important to what we do here because they are the main means of support that we get.
Troy Public Radio doesn't have a set amount of money that they are asking for, but they encourage listeners to give what they can.
They can call in next week. We've got an 800 number, which is 1-800-800-6616. And we also have a website, troypublicradio.org, that is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, that people can give there as well.
The money raised in the fund drive allows for Troy Public Radio to stay on the air. Emily Clegg, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Speaking of Troy Public Radio, this semester saw the creation of a new radio program. It's called On Leadership and features our very own Chancellor, Dr. Jack Hawkins Jr. Jackson Tucker has the story.
Troy Public Radio will soon debut its newest show, On Leadership.
On Leadership premieres this Friday, September 8th, and it's the beginning of a conversation that Dr. Jack Hawkins Jr., the Chancellor of Troy University, our Chancellor, will be having with listeners about leadership.
One of the biggest draws of the new show will be Hawkins himself. In addition to leading Troy University for nearly 35 years, Hawkins also served as a platoon leader in the Vietnam War, earning him a Purple Heart and a Bronze Star.
He introduces the topic and lets you know a little bit about him and about the university. There's a lot there that I think a lot of people are going to get a lot out of and enjoy listening to.
The show will discuss leadership within different communities and will even showcase some Troy alumni.
He also talked about Command Sergeant Major Benny G. Adkins, who is a very famous alumni from Troy University and is somebody who received the Presidential Medal of Honor, and the lessons of leadership that we learned from him and his experience.
The 4-minute piece will be available on air every other Friday afternoon at 1:35 p.m.
I think listeners are going to really get a lot out of it and really be surprised and intrigued by the different ways that we look at leadership and how important leadership is to today's society and what role it plays.
You can also listen to On Leadership on any podcast platform by searching On Leadership Troy, Jackson Tucker, Troy TrojanVision News.
September 2023 marked 22 years since the September 11, 2001 terrorist attacks. Although it's been over 2 decades since that tragic day, people across the country and right here at Troy University remembered the lives that were lost, as well as those who rushed to save as many people as they could. Back in September, Troy held a 9/11 memorial stair climb. Neela Cole was there.
September 11, 2001 is forever etched in the hearts and minds of Americans. Monday morning, Troy University students and area first responders paid tribute to the fallen heroes and victims of the attack.
It's such a pivotal moment in the history of the United States. You know, so many things changed after the events of 9/11, and so many people were affected by it because of the people that were lost and injured, and this inspired many people to fill in the roles of service between firefighters and EMS and military personnel. It was a deciding moment for them.
The climb is meant to symbolize resiliency, unity, and honor. Participants climb the stadium stairs repeatedly, simulating what first responders had to endure to save lives after the attack.
We all know what happened on that day, so just to show appreciation and memorial to those people that passed away on that day.
Participants were also encouraged to show support for different causes to ensure the legacy of 9/11 is never forgotten.
My hopes for next year are that we can just make it bigger, better, and do it for the right reason.
Neela Cole, Troy, TrojanVision News.
September also brought big news for Troy University when the Alabama Commission of Higher Education gave Troy the green light to expand its doctoral programs. Jameson Fowler explains what that means for current and future Trojans.
Troy University applied for a change in instructional role in June. Troy now aims to broaden the scope of its doctoral programs.
It's historic. It was a milestone for the university. We're excited about it. It's not about institutional ego. It's about service to the community. It's about service to our students. We intend to make the world a better place by virtue of what has just occurred.
Until now, Troy has been limited to offering 3 doctoral programs, those being a Doctor of Nursing Practice, PhD in Sport Management, and a PhD in Global Leadership. But that will soon change.
In the immediate future, we plan to initiate the development of a PhD in criminology, and then we also will add a doctorate in business administration.
Troy leaders say this change in instructional role is expected not to only benefit the state of Alabama, but also provide a brighter future for the Wiregrass region.
This is, to my knowledge, the first teachers college, first former teachers college in the state to be granted a doctoral status. And that opens the doors for others to pursue that as well. So I think there's excitement not only here at Troy, but I think there's excitement throughout the state.
Officials hope the change presents more educational opportunities for potential students and results in a highly skilled workforce for employers.
Even after all these decades of serving Troy University, that truly I feel the best is yet to be.
Jameson Fowler, Troy, TrojanVision News.
September also marks the beginning of Hispanic Heritage Month. During that time, people with Hispanic and Latino heritage celebrated their respective Independence Days. Camille Coney explains.
Hispanic Heritage Month is a time of celebration for Hispanic and Latino Americans.
Personally, growing up, especially in high school, for lack of a better term, it was always very overlooked for me. But now that I got in college and as I get older, really, it means more and more to me because I see that more people care about it. And that just, brings just happiness and joy for me.
Both of Valencia's parents are Hispanic, but he was born in California. Because of that, his parents made it a point to help Valencia remember his heritage through different cultural acts like Day of the Dead.
Spanish being my first language, I'm always involved in the culture, anything that goes on, like Day of the Dead, stuff like that. My mom makes sure that I participate in it.
The Valencia family believes that Hispanic Heritage Month is not a celebration of them, but of others around them.
We don't really do much for it per se, just because for us it's more of a celebration of other people around us, if that makes sense. So again, both my parents being Mexican-born and me being American-born, there's a little bit of a disconnect there in the terms of what a Hispanic Heritage Month means to them.
Valencia says he believes it's important for non-Hispanic people to learn about Hispanic culture.
The second most spoken language is Spanish, and I believe the Mexican population, or just Hispanic in general, is growing in the United States, and there's more and more people who are getting involved.
Later that month, Troy students considered what international peace meant to them. Sarah Campbell has students' thoughts on that question.
Peace means different things to different people.
There's so much that divides us, maybe physical boundaries, oceans, religion, different points of view, different lifestyles and cultures. But international peace is where we can find common ground and where we can see what we want for the future. Peace is that comfort spot where we can all find a connection.
For some, it means togetherness among people.
International peace to me is just peace amongst everyone, like together. Troy University's done a great job at that. They're a great job at bringing together people of international communities. It doesn't get much more international than Troy, especially in this little town of Alabama.
To me, it means equality
throughout the globe and coming together to solve international issues instead of blaming it on each other, to just form some kind of like bond to conquer it all.
International peace is where everyone from different backgrounds can live in the world together with no judgment.
For others, peace means overcoming differences.
International peace to me means like, I guess, a peace or a state of mind of calmness without all the arguments and all of that that's going on in our country today and all around the world with all the differences. But yeah, it's just people getting along.
Countries working together towards a common goal without fighting about random stuff. The members of a nation not showing like prejudice against one another just from being in another country.
Sarah Campbell, Troy, TrojanVision News.
The middle of September also marked the middle of the fall semester, which meant midterm exams. That's why the ladies of Delta Sigma Theta hosted Yoga on the Quad as a social and stress-relieving event. Dylan Seymour was there.
The new Theta chapter of Delta Sigma Theta hosted Yoga on the Quad for women on campus to come and relieve stress and enjoy the company of other women.
I believe that yoga is a good way, to stretch, and when we working out, we release endorphins, which is the happy hormone. And so being able to stretch, and we came and we talked about, some stuff that happened throughout the week.
I decided to come to this event because it's been a stressful week, and you just gotta go and release. It was a good way to make more friends. Yoga is a good way to relieve some stress. It's been a stressful week with classes and everything, and I feel like it's good for mental health.
Kennedy Crosby, the physical and mental health chair, talks about the safe space of women.
So I think it's, really healthy for us to be able to have a safe space to come and be able to talk about personal things or just girl talk in general. Just to be able to have a community of people that you can talk to is very important, because we in college, some people may be struggling. You never know what everybody's going through. So I think it's really important to open up a safe space for people to come and be able to make friends and things of that nature.
I made new friends. I had the opportunity to do something new. I don't normally do yoga, but I met new friends, and that was really nice. I enjoy being around other females, and it was really good for my stress.
To keep up with this organization and all of its events, follow them on Instagram.
You can find us on Instagram at New Theta DST. Y'all go follow us.
Dylan Seymour, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Unfortunately, September saw the death of a major figure at Troy University, music industry pioneer Robert W. Smith. Smith is known as a trusted friend and colleague. Belle Johnson gives us insight on Smith's life from people who knew him best.
Inspiration, mentor, friend. Those are only some of the words used to describe Robert W. Smith. Smith died after complications from cardiac surgery, leaving behind a legacy of hard work and a love for his students.
His reputation was built on solid evidence, on solid work. And there was a great talent there, but more importantly, in my opinion, there was an incredible work ethic.
He was an immensely creative thinker, but he also was a great teacher, someone who was deeply invested in the lives of his students.
Smith served as the director of bands for the Sound of the South following the retirement of Dr. Johnny Long in 1997. Later on, Smith traveled the world with Warner Brothers and reached further into the music and entertainment industry. He returned to Troy in 2006 to teach in the music industry program.
Lots of time we discuss here, and we talk about not only about students, we talk about the music industry, what's the future, the vision, and how can we foresee this, how much we can take this program on. So basically, it becomes even closer.
Since returning to Troy, Smith has created the student group Populace, which has performed in many events locally and globally. Senior Raleigh Singleton remembers how Smith's influence helped their performance.
He let us know how well we did, and that he really believes that we were pros. He always put us first, his students. He'd tell us time and time again, that he loved us.
Smith is survived by his wife, Susan Smith, and 2 daughters. Those who knew Smith say his family was the most important thing to him.
Robert's love of his family, of his girls, really eclipses everything else. And when I think of Robert, I'm going to remember him as my friend and a family man.
Overall, Smith will be remembered for his influence in the music industry program, as well as his love of music and those around him.
We as storytellers have to keep telling the story forward. Hey,
this music industry thing, let me tell you about the guy that started it. And that's the best thing we can do for any of our professors that we lose, but particularly one who birthed a program like this.
As time goes by, we want to honor Robert's legacy by making sure that the program that he helped build here continues to thrive and to flourish in the future.
Belle Johnson, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Staying with music news, students come to Troy University oftentimes to learn how to make their biggest dreams come true. Faculty members get that same opportunity. Reporter Mackenzie Foster has how one Troy University faculty member is setting an example for music students.
Troy University lecturer of music Brenda Hamilton has a new music single releasing soon. The new single is called More Than Magic. Hamilton says it's a song about having a crush on someone that you hope isn't playing tricks on you.
The whole song tells the story of like, hey, I've been played before, I've been tricked before by your illusions, by other guys' illusions, but with you it's different.
Hamilton doesn't do music on her own. Her co-writer is Brandon Barnes, a 3-time Grammy-nominated songwriter. Hamilton says that her and Barnes's partnership results in music getting done fast.
We've grown closer and I think we've gotten even faster. Sometimes he'll send me with the melody built in, and then other times it'll just be a really open instrumental track, and I'm like, hey, I have an idea for this. This is so beautiful, and I'll write something. And then it turns into something.
Hamilton says she wants her students at Troy University to see her go for her dreams and know that they can do the same thing.
I think this is great modeling for the students where like they have their mentor and their professor who's teaching them how to do the thing, but their professor is actually doing the thing. And I want to instill that love in the students because I can see that they're hungry for that and they have it. And they need someone to keep encouraging them to keep doing it.
Hamilton's single More Than Magic will be released on all music streaming platforms on Friday, September 29th. Mackenzie Foster, Troy, TrojanVision News.
This semester also saw Troy's Idea Bank officially cut the rope on its new podcast. Jameson Fowler was there the moment that podcast studio opened.
Troy University's Idea Bank, known for its role as a collaborative hub of creativity and innovation, is taking its mission to a whole new level with their new Idea Vault podcast.
The podcast studio is a perfect way to repurpose the vault. You have some privacy, soundproof, and just kind of a cool atmosphere, and that will allow people to come be creative and practice growing their business.
Podcasting is a powerful medium that the Idea Bank looks to use to amplify the voices of future innovators in the community. The podcast plans to feature a diverse range of guests to share their innovative spirit, experiences, and ideas.
More than anything, I hope they just look at it as a stimulating media that they can come to and get ideas from and say, you know what, I want to learn more about that guy that they interviewed, or I want to learn more about that festival that they're talking about, and basically, come to learn and learn a little bit more about a medium or an idea or a business, or even more about their own community that they live in.
The Idea Bank says this podcast is worth considering for anyone with an appreciation for creativity and innovation, whether your interests lie in technology, business, art, or any other field. Jameson Fowler, Troy, TrojanVision News.
After this semester, several Troy students could be one step closer to landing their first job out of college. It's partly thanks to a career fair that brought students and employers face to face. Nick Wright has that story.
Yesterday, the Troy Career Services held their fall career fair to help students find their future endeavors.
Today's career fair is for employers and students to gather, and our students can find out about internships, co-ops, entry-level jobs, so they really can come and have practice talking to employers, but also find real-life job opportunities.
Businesses and entrepreneurs from all across the state presented themselves to help students find opportunities to meet what may be their future employers.
It's a really good idea to start to engage with employers early on when they are at Troy University to start to try to get an internship, which we hope will then turn into a job.
Business owners say that they're excited about what the future holds for these students, as well as what they can provide and look forward to in the future.
Yeah, we're hoping to meet the next generation of leaders for the television station in a number of areas, not just news, though that is one of our focuses. We're looking for people for accounting, for technical, all things engineering and marketing, and basic communication.
Students say that they're excited about the new opportunities that they can gain from this experience.
I think that this is a good opportunity for everyone to learn about the different organizations and careers that we have in Troy, Alabama.
For more updates, you can follow at Troy Careers on Instagram. This has been Nick Wright, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Switching gears now, painting and shopping were the two main themes during this year's Basketball and Brushes. Neela Cole explains.
Troy women's basketball team hosted an event that featured a paint class and boutique brow session on the court in the Trojan Arena. The idea of this event was inspired when head coach Shonda Rigby and her staff had a painting event at her house during a retreat in Eufaula, Alabama.
First of all, we wanted another interaction where our players can be up front and personal with our fans and them get to know them on a more personal basis. And we were just trying to think of a way that would kind of break the ice and kind of get everybody out of kind of being stiff. And so we decided to do a painting event.
This event was also a fundraiser for the women's basketball program. All of the proceeds, such as the Velvet Peach Boutique and the Southern Strokes Art, stay in this program to raise money for the team as it prepares for its season.
Feeling great about the season. We know we have all returning starters, and we had a pretty good season last year, so we're excited about that and really excited about the pieces that we got to come alongside those players from last season.
The team is on practice number 7 out of 30 until they play their first game against West Alabama on November 6th at the Trojan Arena.
We're getting to know each other a lot well, and we're incorporating it on the court, and we're mending really well together, so it's a lot of fun.
Neela Cole, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Back in October, people from across Troy grabbed their jazz shoes and headed to the Trojan Center ballrooms to enjoy a night filled with live music, dancing, and fun. Sarah Campbell was there.
The John M. Long School of Music hosted a nostalgia dance to dive back into the age of jazz.
This is a concert that's different than we've typically done. This is a concert that is designed, purpose-driven for people to dance to, featuring the music of the 1930s and 40s, which is really the social music of that time, and it was designed for dancing, not sitting.
People of all ages were able to socialize, learn some new moves, and even dance in front of a live band.
This was a great opportunity for them to get out of their homework, get out of their studies, and come and have a really great time and enjoy some nostalgic big band music and dance with each other, mingle, eat some good food, and just hang out and have a good time.
The musicians on stage get to see the crowd interacting with the music that we're creating, and of course the dancers react to the music on the stage.
I love the people from different ages dancing and having a good time.
The dance served as a way for Troy's jazz ensemble to showcase their talent by going back to their roots.
So much of the tradition of jazz band comes from the 1930s and 40s, where sort of jazz was the social music of the day. It's such an important part of the heritage of jazz, and it's still really fun. So I wanted to give the students an opportunity to play this music, and the audience really reacts very positively. Everybody likes to dance and move and experience the joy of physical motion to music.
Sarah Campbell, Troy, TrojanVision News.
October also brought representatives from Gray Media, one of the largest owners of television stations in the country, to Troy University's campus to recruit our very own students. Emma Ellis has the story.
It's a question many college students have a difficult time answering. How are they going to get a job after graduation? This week, representatives from Gray Television and several news directors from across the state of Alabama visited the Hall School of Journalism and Communication to help students answer just that.
We're pretty passionate about hiring the best and brightest, and I admit I'm a little bit biased, as you could probably tell from my shirt, but I feel like Troy's a great place to do that.
Throughout the day, students attended workshop sessions, a lunch and learn, and had their resume reels reviewed.
It was amazing. I feel like they talked about so many different things that I had learned in classes here at Troy, and it helped me to really feel prepared.
What does Gray Television hope students take away from these sessions?
I hope more than anything else they take away the importance of journalism, not only as, as they start their careers, but just the importance it is to our democracy. We hold the powerful accountable. Every day we have the opportunity to change the world as a journalist, and I hope that mission doesn't get lost in a lot of the noises out in the world today.
As for what Dale says students should aim to do,
get it right, get it fast, get it on the air.
So the next time you turn on your TV, you just might be seeing an old classmate who has become a brand new Gray employee.
Soon after that, the Hall School of Journalism and Communication traded those news directors for high school students, as students from around Alabama came to Troy to learn about journalism. Nick Wright reports.
High school students from around Alabama visited Troy University to get hands-on experience on what a career in journalism entails.
J-Day is an opportunity for high school students to come to our campus and be involved in dozens of workshops ranging from podcasting to print design to broadcast television. And it's a good way for students who might be interested in journalism and who are working with their student media groups at their high schools to come in, be able to absorb some information, take it back home to their schools, and then ultimately, hopefully, come join us when they're ready for their college experience.
Dr. Taylor says J-Day can set high school students up with future endeavors in their journalism careers.
They can graduate not only with a degree, but with a job. We had about 100% placement with our broadcast students last year, which is wonderful. They're working in markets all over the country, and I think that high school students seeing that success can be motivation for lots of different things. Whether or not they decide to go into journalism or not, a Troy degree can get you where you want to go.
A high school student says that J-Day is important for future students to get a better understanding of having a career in journalism.
It gives students a look at what they want to do at college, and it helps them better understand the field they're going into, and I think that's very important for people who do want to go to college for this type of thing.
This has been Nick Wright, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Moving off campus now, jazz filled the air in downtown Troy when Troy University's jazz ensemble group Frequency performed at the studio. From the lens to the musical beat, photojournalist Jameson Fowler takes us there.
Jazz isn't just one type of music, and you've got Frank Sinatra and the big band, and today like Emily King and Gregory Porter, all that is jazz. Jazz is this ever-evolving art form. That jazz is American music. I mean, it is really the truest American art form, and so it is worth studying.
Vocal jazz in an ensemble setting is unique. It's really having a big renaissance right now. Super fan of a lot of groups around the country that are gaining momentum, and the work that they're doing is probably the best I've ever heard. There is opportunity for improvisation, what I call a chamber kind of feel where there's no director and they sort of have to get their cues from each other. This is a great time to be a vocal jazz aficionado.
I can hands down say it's been one of the best experiences I've ever had. It is so wonderful to enjoy and create music with so many talented people who have the same drive and passion and love as I do. And I have simply loved every second of it.
Back on campus, Troy University worked to make sure people understood that poverty is a serious issue that many people in our area have to face. Earlier this semester, Troy's Office of Civic Engagement gave students the opportunity to experience what it's like to live in poverty. Sarah Campbell has more.
Students got the chance to experience what it would be like to live in poverty at the Office of Civic Engagement's Poverty Simulation.
We provide this opportunity for students to come and experience a month of simulated life, playing a role as a family member on a limited income. It's meant to just give students a better understanding of what so many members of our community experience.
In the exercise, students had to problem solve real-life issues and work with a limited budget.
They have to, make difficult choices on whether they're going to pay utilities or whether they're going to pay rent or buy food for their family that month. It gives them insight into sometimes the challenges that neighbors in our communities experience every day.
The poverty simulation helps students to be aware of the struggles that many face.
I honestly wish that every student would do this simulation. I just think it's a great opportunity for them to open their eyes to see that there are people who this simulation, it's not just a game, it's real life for a lot of people. So I think it's really good for them to experience what it's like to, live in poverty.
They really can empathize better with individuals that they're serving and have a better understanding of how to advocate for individuals that may have needs.
Sarah Campbell, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Later that month, it was a party at the International Arts Center when Troy students put their hands up and Populous played their favorite songs. Nick Wright gives us a look at this year's Troy-a-Palooza.
Hot dogs, nachos, bounce houses, and even, wait for it, dance parties. That's what happened when Troy's University Activities Committee hosted their annual Troy-a-Palooza night on Wednesday evening.
This is Troy-Palooza. We have this every year at the end of October, and it's a great way for the populace to come out and showcase all that they get to do.
Troy-a-Palooza consisted of many events such as rock walls, bounce houses, and even cartoon contests for various entertainment. One IAC member says that she hopes Troy-a-Palooza helps bring students out of their comfort zone and try different things.
I think that people can gain from this event is a lot of different things, and just getting outside and doing something different and not being cooped up in your dorm room, because it feels so great outside and it's fun to just get good food and fried Oreos, of course, and do fun activities.
One of the members from the local Troy band Populous, who actually performed at the event, says that they are proud of the fact that Troy-a-Palooza brings a sense of community to Troy.
Well, Troy-a-Palooza is kind of like a concert / big event that we have here at Troy University. It's a place where all the students can bring their family or friends. Everybody can come together, mingle, see what Populous is really about, and also just see what Troy University brings as a whole.
For more information on any other fall events, Troy UAC says you can follow them on their social medias at Troy UAC on Instagram. This has been Nick Wright, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Staying with campus coverage, the competition was fierce and the steps strong during Wednesday night's Stroll Like an Alpha competition back in October. Nick Wright was also there and has this story.
On Tuesday evening, the Ice Cold Brothers of Troy's Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity had their annual Stroll Like an Alpha night in Crosby Theater.
So the event today was Stroll Like Alpha, hosted by Troy Alphas. Basically all we do is just show the girls how to stroll like alphas, and then they come out here and present themselves, and it's just a friendly game.
3 teams led by different members in the fraternity competed in a number of different skits, step teases, and even strolls to show off what they learned in the prior weeks. Then they were judged on a number of different criteria to determine a winner.
Basically, just who has the most energy, I guess you could say. Of course, presentation and the theme. I know for my team especially, their name is Frozen Creed from the boxing movie Creed. And basically that's it, just energy and how they present themselves, really.
One member of Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity says that he is proud of the girls for working together and retaining what they learned over the past few weeks to present a good show.
The long nights of practice that we had could just show diligence, really. I know it's a lot of things or a lot of movements that alphas have. It's kind of difficult to learn. So for those girls to learn those within 45 weeks is pretty hard. And then to present that good show that they all did, all 3 teams did, it's just really good, really good.
One of the girls who was a part of the Stroll Like an Alpha event says that she is proud of the new opportunities and friendships that she made along the way.
I gained some friendships along the way, but it was really just a fun thing to do, get out, meet new people, and just a different experience.
This has been Nick Wright, Troy, TrojanVision News.
It's a house current students may not really know about, but some past students love. We're talking about Troy University's Alumni House. After serving years of graduates, could upgrades be on the way? Reporter Emily Clegg has that answer.
If you're out and about on a game day, it's hard to miss the crowd gathered at 100 Highland Avenue.
On weekends, it's just so full to the brim on weekends with football, with a lot of people tailgating all over the grounds.
The Troy University Alumni House has been welcoming back Troy alumni for 20 years now.
At a big dedication, it was in October of 2003. And we dedicated the Alumni House on the spot where we are now.
For many alumni, this house behind me has been the same for many years. However, some changes are soon to come.
We don't want to leave the spot because it's an awesome spot, but we hope to build a very new and modern building that can hold even more alumni.
There is still a lot of planning to do before work on the new center can start.
We're at the point now where we're going out to seek funds and funding for building this new alumni center.
But for right now, it's exciting to think about all the new changes to come.
We can't wait to be able to share, all the information with our alumni, and we hope that they will all consider giving a gift back to this because it will be their home to come back to.
Emily Clegg, Troy, TrojanVision News.
And by the way, if you want to see renderings of what the Alumni House could look like, go to TrojanVision's website and find that story. Staying with October news, even though Breast Cancer Awareness Month has passed, the cancer still affects people every day of the year. Back in October, a breast cancer walk was held here on campus. Julia Miller learned why one student says she'll support the fight against cancer for the rest of her life.
October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and Troy University hosted their annual Breast Cancer Walk, where participants tell me they walk for a reason.
Among those walking was Kimberly Branch. She's walking to remember her grandmother.
I'm always going to support people who have breast cancer and who are still fighting it because my grandmother passed away maybe about 6 or 7 years ago.
Kimberly remembers what it was like supporting her grandmother.
I've seen what she went through and how it affected us and our family, and I just always want to be that support system that somebody was for us, for other people.
Although the breast cancer walk is over, Kimberly's memories of her grandmother haven't stopped.
A memory that I hold near and dear to my heart is Thanksgiving. She always cooks the food and prepares the pies and stuff, but the last year that she was living, I got to help her make the food, and she just taught me a lot of valuable life lessons during that time that I will forever hold and cherish to my heart.
Even though her grandmother's fight is over, Kimberly says she'll never stop supporting those whose fight continues.
I'll always come to breast cancer to support other people.
As October comes to an end, the fight for breast cancer will continue. Julia Miller, Troy, TrojanVision News.
TrojanVision introduced you to this musical duo earlier in the broadcast, and you've probably heard their music before. But do you know what has to happen before two people can write a song together? Here's a behind-the-scenes look at how two musicians work together, courtesy of Mackenzie Foster.
Brenda Jane Hamilton is a lecturer of music at Troy University, but she is also a musician. Hamilton has released a few songs, but not on her own. Her co-writer is Brandon Barnes, a Grammy-nominated musician. Hamilton and Barnes say their partnership began in Hamilton's office.
This is where we first started, the first song that was written, right?
Yeah, in this office.
It was in this room, and I was sitting at the piano. I don't know how it started. I think she was kind of auditioning Wind for me. I asked her to sing Wind. It was from the movie Men of Honor that me and Brian McKnight wrote. And she asked me to come by our office and sing it for me. And when she got through singing it, I was like, okay, that's going to work. That's great. We're going to work together.
Barnes says Hamilton's work ethic is something most people don't have.
Nobody I've really worked with except for Brian McKnight had this work ethic where she's just right on it all the time. And she's always like a step ahead of me doing things, and when she says she's going to do something, she does it.
Hamilton and Barnes say their rapport and friendship is what makes working together professional and easy.
We clearly have a great rapport together, and that you're spending so much time in the studio with each other that you have to be able to work with one another without, getting mad if it's like, okay, do that again, or I think you can do better. It's like, okay, well, let me just do it again because I trust you.
Not allowed in the room, in the studio. You gotta dig that out.
Hamilton and Barnes' next song will be released on November 24th on all music streaming platforms. Mackenzie Foster, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Before students went home for fall break, some experienced the world without ever having to leave Troy's campus. Amaya McLeese explains.
Troy's International Student Cultural Organization ended this semester with its annual ISCO Festival. During the event, students held performances, enjoyed international cuisine, and shared some cultural items.
And just not to be afraid of coming up to somebody that's from Alabama or here in the United States to reach out for help. I would tell them that we really appreciate them and that we just love learning their culture and where they come from.
This annual celebration of music, art, and culture brings together different genres of artists and audience from around the world. From stunning live performances to interactive installation, the ISCO Festival offers something for everyone.
I loved showing everybody a little bit about something that's so important in my culture, which is salsa, and I just loved that everybody had fun with it.
I love the energy that the crowd gave us back. I think that it made it really fun to be on stage tonight.
Whether you're a music lover, an art enthusiast, or simply someone looking for a memorable experience, ISCO members say the festival was not one to be missed. The ISCO Festival is held once a year and marks the end of ISCO's semester of activity. Amaya McLeese, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Now listen, we can't have a semester in review without at least mentioning our Trojan football team and the amazing ride it's been for the Trojans. All their hard work, sweat, and determination earned them the title of the 2023 Sun Belt Champions for the second year in a row. Parker Flowers has the rundown.
For the second straight year, the Vet has been home to the Sun Belt Conference Football Championship game. Last year, the Trojans knocked off Coastal Carolina to become Sun Belt champs. A day short of a year later, they returned to defend that title as Appalachia State came to town to throw down for the 2023 Sun Belt Championship. And to start off, it was not an offensive show as the Trojan faithful are used to, as not a single point was scored until almost 5 minutes left in the second quarter. But what they are used to is that stifling defense that ranks 15th in the country that did not allow App State to reach the end zone until 39 seconds away from halftime.
Yeah, extremely proud of our team. These guys, it's all about them, and just grateful. I thank God for everything they've done. They've changed me and helped make me better, and I'm just glad they let us coach them. And could not be more proud of their accomplishments. They've had a heck of a year, and just extremely grateful for what they've done.
And almost like clockwork, the Trojans came out of the locker room at half and seemed like a completely new team, moving the ball up the field and putting up 35 second-half points. The head of this offensive onslaught, none other than Kamani Vidal. Although he set many headlines and records this year, none beat this. Vidal ran for not 1, not 2, not 3, and not even 4, but 5 touchdowns. That is the most ever from an FBS player in a championship game. Kamani gave us some insight, as well as his breakfast cheat code for setting such achievements.
I would probably say just the runs we had this week. People always ask, my coaches ask, what runs do I like? And I say the ones that the offensive line likes. And I feel like that works. And the breakfast, I had the same thing I always eat.
Which was what?
Some eggs and some toast. That's about it.
The Trojans are now back-to-back Sun Belt champs and can take some time off to celebrate. But they have one more game. Troy has been selected to play in the 76 Birmingham Bowl. Their opponents, the Duke Blue Devils, and that game will be on the 23rd.
And to find out what happens with that bowl game, you'll have to tune in the spring, because this wraps things up for our look back at the semester in review. We hope you can join us again in the spring for our next installment of Troy TrojanVision News. For myself and the rest of our crew here at TrojanVision, thanks for joining us for a look back at the events and happenings of the fall semester here at Troy. Make sure you tune in to Semester in Review Monday through Friday at noon, 5, and 10, and you can look in at Sundays at noon and 5. Until next time, we hope you have a great holiday and a Happy New Year. See you in the spring.